the fact that the feds closed their investigation so quickly and made it public is remarkable. Most federal investigations move at a glacial speed, and the resolution of any investigation, at least federally speaking, they don't have to make it public. So the fact that they came in and 30 days later not only ended their investigation, but made the investigation ending public is a huge win for us, because it means there's nothing there. I've said from the beginning, there is no there there. The vast majority of these accusations were spawned by a woman, an Islamophobic woman, and Governor Abbott picked up on them. I have said from the beginning, Governor Abbott should be ashamed of himself. He did no investigation. He just repeated the lies that were started by this woman. John Cornyn should likewise be ashamed of himself for bending himself into a pretzel to try to have this investigation suited or benefit his campaign. So they can both take a long walk off a short pier. We do have more investigations that are ongoing. We are cooperating fully. We have provided all the information requested. We will continue to do so. But what this means, Aaron, in the shortfall is there's an end at the light. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a bullet train. We're going to get through this.
That's awesome. I think, the community is pretty resilient, and they're understanding that. I think this was a bigger story than they anticipated prior to starting the development. I think for them, it was just as simple as like, hey, we need more space, more access to the mosque, and just kind of more halal options. And then it turned into this big thing because, like you mentioned, Amy Meck, who likes to spew a lot of Islamophobia. I want to kind of throw something up that's unrelated to Epic, but related to that Islamophobic kind of rhetoric. I don't know if you follow New York politics, Dan, but recently a Democratic selected representative in terms of the nomination for the Democratic seat to be the mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani. Are you familiar with him?
I'm not.
So he's Zohran is Muslim and Indian guy. He's Muslim, and he just recently won the Democratic nomination for the mayor of New York City. Now, there's a lot of these similar Twitter accounts like Amy Meck's, Wall Street Apes. It's a lot of the same people who have been commenting on Epic. They're saying Sharia law is literally right around the corner for America. So this is a very popular thing to say whenever there's any kind of Muslim influence, whether it's like a subdivision being built or a elected official. Zohran's gotten very popular. I think even Trump tweeted about him. He's only 33. He's a younger guy, and he's got all these socialist policies, which you can debate if that's going to work from an economic standpoint. But a lot of the attacks are just because he's Muslim. Do you have any kind of perspective? I know you don't know much about this story, but do you see a common thread of this like labeling of Sharia law whenever Muslims are involved?
First off, I think Wall Street Ape is appropriately named, so good for him. And the whole, I didn't know what Sharia law was or wasn't. Literally, Aaron, I'm sure as you know, it means do the right thing. It's an ethical code. That is all it means. But people in the Western world have domesticated it, fornicated it, or whatever around it that they did, and now it's become a tagline for no-go zones and chopping off hands if there's theft and marrying 12-year-old girls and all that nonsense, which none of which is happening in the United States, none of which is being proposed to happen in the United States. It's just this alt-right dog whistle to get people upset over things that don't exist.
I 100% agree. I mean, Amy Meck here says Zohran Mamdani isn't just communist lunatic. He's a devout Muslim with open theocratic ambitions. So she's like the boy who cried wolf. I mean, she says the same thing over and over for anyone that is Muslim.
I love how being a devout Muslim is even worse than a communist lunatic.
Exactly. So she always brings it back there. At least to Trump's credit, he has his little disagreement with Zohran. 100% communist lunatic, has just won the Dem primary and is now on his way to becoming mayor. We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. To Trump's credit, he doesn't bring up the Muslim side of this thing. He doesn't make it as like religiously kind of focused.
No, but go to the middle of it. He looks terrible like Donald is some fucking Brad Pitt. His voice is grating. What do you think yours is? He's not very smart. Really, Donald? You can't spell. I mean, it cracks me up that the leader of the free world is this childish. I mean, the idea that those kinds of things are being posted by the president of the most powerful country in the world just amazes me.
It is pretty unique. This epic story is not going anywhere anytime soon. It seems like, there's still so much investigations, like this report says, like you mentioned. Can you give us an idea of like the timeline of like when this potentially could even start development, or like where is it in terms of the timeline of its existence?
We're at least 18 months away from breaking ground. I think we've got another 6 months ahead of us in terms of finalizing and concluding the investigations. And before we even applied for a permit, because things got so hostile and got so reactive and got so radioactive, I think we need to let things calm down before we even apply for a permit. So, gun to my head, we're 18, 24 months from breaking ground. I clearly see a path there, but it ain't going to be, by Thanksgiving.